Come on, Pogba, make something happen. Press proven.
Well, does anybody want to make a challenge here? And it's opened up. Oh, off the post.
What? Get in the net! Get in the net! I tested the most highly anticipated SBC of the year so that you don't have to. So, is this Pogba card a FIFA 17 regen or just another overhyped waste of fodder? Real quick, guys, my name's Wottsy. If you enjoy these player reviews, make sure to leave a sub so that I can stop funding these with my credit card. And I also review a lot of these players live on Twitch most nights, so if you want to come through to chat or suggest a player for me to review, link will be in the description. To complete this card, you're going to need to submit an 85 rated squad, an 86 rated squad, and an 87 rated squad, which translates to about 210k of fodder at this point in the game. You've got players like De Jong, Reinders, Patry. They're all about quarter of the price of this Pogba, so if he doesn't perform, he's probably going to sit on your bench and you've wasted 200,000 coins or the equivalent in fodder. And if you're still wondering whether you should choose the cam or the CDM variant, in my last video I explained which one you should pick and why. I'll also link that one in the description. Quick overview of the card then, and as you can see, he's 6'3" with the lengthy run type. That basically means bigger strides and can cover ground faster once at top speed. It's just difficult to get there in the first place. This is really good for attackers that have got a lot of green grass in front of them to sprint into, or centre backs that are tracking back to catch up with the striker. But for CDMs, honestly, explosive or controlled might work out a bit better because they just need to cover spaces quickly in the pockets. So lengthy can be a hindrance to that. However, if he does sit in for a defender and someone plays a through ball, lengthy could come off nicely here. He's got 5-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot. You couldn't ask for more for a CDM. People might think the 5-star skill moves are wasted if they're not on a winger or an attacker, but if you learn a few of the skill moves, you'll be able to create a bit of space for yourself and then play the ball on. 4-star weak foot is nice as well. You're not going to get in too many shooting opportunities with this card unless you're using them as a flat centre mid in a 4-4-2. It's still going to be really useful, especially if you pick the ball up in your own defensive third and you need to clear your lines quickly. You don't want to be making a pass with a high degree of error because he's got a poor weak foot. Looking at the stats, he's got 76 pace, which is really usable, but he does have significantly higher sprint speed than acceleration. And as I've previously mentioned, for a CDM, particularly in defensive roles, you're probably going to want to have the higher acceleration. He's got that intercept plus playstyle, but it's no use if we can't cover ground quickly to get in the way of the passing lane. Shooting at 78 is really good, most of it in shot power and long shots. However, on this game, there's no green timing. Long shots don't really go in. You'd probably want the attack positioning or the finishing to be higher. Passing is really good across the board, all higher than 85 apart from crossing and free kick accuracy, but you're not going to be running down the wing with this guy, so overall those are really, really strong. Now, dribbling is a bit of a controversial one. So he's got really high dribbling and ball control, but his agility and balance are really low, which means he's not going to turn as well as you want him to. Yes, okay, he's going to keep close control of the ball whilst dribbling, and he's going to have a really good first touch, but when it comes to turning, especially with the bigger frame, he's not going to be the best. The main stat that I think is going to get in the way of how good this card is those 73 reactions. Reactions and composure are two stats that aren't really tangible, so people don't realize how important they actually are. They underpin all areas of a card's stats in different situations in the game. So we'll be using a chem style to boost this up where possible. You can use a gladiator or a marksman to boost this by 6. I've gone with a marksman. Normally with chem styles, I encourage people to put something on the player that boosts what they're already good at, because for example, if you've got Messi with really weak strength and aggression, there's no point boosting it by 6 or 7 because it's still going to be really poor. However, with Pogba being such a well-rounded card and nearly being in the Hullet gang, anything you boost is still going to be noticeable and give him an edge in those fields. So my main aim here was to keep him as well-rounded as possible, but also boost those reactions as much as we can. Then if we take a look at his defending stats, they're all really strong across the board, and he's got those high interceptions to go with his intercept plus playstyle. And if we look at his physical, really strong card. The only thing that you should worry about is that 77 stamina. Is that going to cut it in the midfield? He doesn't have the relentless playstyle, of course, and you don't want to be wasting your subs on a CDM. You want to be bringing on fresh attacking players to help you win games. For playstyles, he's got Incisive Pass, which really improves the through ball accuracy. He's also got long ball pass, which really helps with lobbed passes or chip through balls. Trickster and press proven are going to help with ball retention, and then anticipate for his stand tackles and intercept plus to cut out any danger from the passing lanes. If you want to max this card's positional awareness, he gets the plus in player roles under deep lying playmaker as a CDM. But stick around till the end if you want to see my advice on how to get the most out of this card, including the team I used him in. So in this first clip, I just wanted to show exactly how to use him, and you can get a gauge for his job jockey speed here as well. What you want to do on this year's game is control your CDMs or your centre mids and let your AI do the best part of the marking, because the moment you draw one of your players out, it creates a huge gap, and that's how people get in and score. But as you can see in a lot of these clips, he'll win the ball back. He might lose it, but he wins it back again. And overall, he's just got this massive presence in midfield. So even though his reactions are on the lower side, I didn't really notice this with the gameplay. Whether it's because the Intercept Plus overrides that or not, we don't know. But overall, just a really, really solid card defensively. And the Anticipate is very noticeable as well. When he goes in for a stand tackle, he often gets the ball. Sometimes he wipes the man as well. But yeah, he was just really, really good, really solid defensively. The lack of acceleration to cover ground quickly and get in the way of an inception wasn't really noticeable either. And I think because he's 6'3" with such a big stature in game, those long legs, he could just stick out and get in the way of everything. You could really notice the strength of this card. Like I said, when he would go in for a tackle, he'd clear the man as well. So his physicality was really, really good. All of the footage you see is in FUT Champs. And just to touch on his stamina, I didn't actually end up subbing this Pogba card off once, but I am a bit reluctant and hesitant to sub. I just hate pausing the game and stopping it for whatever reason. But the stamina wasn't too much of an issue. It was better than I thought it was going to be. And I guess that's because you're not going to be doing prolonged sprints where you drain his stamina down to red. He says whilst going on an insane pitch run. No, but seriously, we do need to talk about how good this Pogba card is at ball carrying. With the 5-star skills and the higher dribbling, that's something that makes this card really exceptional. An area where he does definitely excel over those types of players that I mentioned at the start, like Reinders or De Jong. And with the Trickster as well, it allows you to perform different skills and skills with a higher degree of accuracy, which can be really useful for when you're looking to drive the ball further up the pitch. And then just to touch on his incisive passes as well, his through balls were really, really strong, especially from deep areas of the pitch. Okay, Isak robs him of an assist there, which is my bad for just fluffing my lines when I went through on goal. I thought he was bringing the keeper out, but he wasn't. I had already committed to the finesse shot and I didn't cancel in time. And then again, Isak robbing him of another assist. This is the clip you saw at the beginning of the video, but easily could have led to a goal, all created by Pogba. But as you can see with a lot of these through balls, it comes from Pogba either winning the ball back or carrying the ball from deep. So he's a really good player for turning defense into attack. Dembele being the one that robs him of an assist this time, but then he goes and redeems himself with this clip here. And then on the occasions where it does open up for a shot, if you're near the edge of the box, he can bang him in top corner. Not sure what that guy was doing with his defenders, but the space opened up and Pogba took his chance. So the all-important question, should you complete this SBC? And the answer is, it depends. If you like to have a big bullyish CDM and you need French links for your team, or you've got a League One team, then he is a great option as long as you've got the fodder to complete him. If you don't have the fodder and you have to spend 200k to go out and get the players to build the SBCs for this Pogba card, I'd argue there's much better value available. If you're wondering, this is the team I used him in. I did also use him as a lone CDM in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, but honestly, somebody like Kante is going to be a better CDM in that formation. The CDMs don't get forward too much. They're not as involved in the attacking play, and his jockey speed was just a lot faster with the same playstyle plus. However, he's a really great option if you pair him up with another CDM in a formation that allows for that. Preferably having him on deep line playmaker and the other one on holding defend. But does he stay in my team? No. He won't. And if you're wondering why, I hold nothing against the card. He was a really solid option in champs. It's just in the higher divisions, in rivals through the week, I prefer using players that have the tiki-taka playstyle. If you have enjoyed this video, check out some of my other player reviews. And please take the time to like, comment, and subscribe as it massively helps the channel. Once edited, these videos do take a while to make, so I appreciate all the support I can get. Also, check out my Twitch because you can see these player reviews live in action, and you can also drop a suggestion of who I should try next.